Well, good Friday morning. Here we are to the end of another week, nearing the end of June, almost to July. Hard to believe. It seems as though 2026 is very quickly passing. And so it's good to have each one of you here this morning and throughout the day. I appreciate those who sometimes you may watch it later on in the course of the day and you hear me say good morning, whatever, but I just appreciate the faithfulness and the kind notes and texts and whatever that I get occasionally. I just appreciate it all. And so, as always, hope it's a help to you and a challenge. It is to me. It keeps the focus where it needs to be, or at least is a step towards keeping the focus where it needs to be. Well, let's get into our study here in Proverbs chapter 2. And we were speaking, I had a class last night, and one of the things that we were talking about was just how culture tends to ingrain us, and I think in ways that we don't even comprehend. And that was really a lot of the conversation yesterday. And we were focusing on the culture surrounding the beginnings of the New Testament era. And, those people were affected by Greek and Roman culture. I mean, that's just the reality of things. And some of it was okay, some of it was not okay. And I would say you and I are also going to be affected by American culture. And that's not to say that everything is bad, but it's also not to say that everything is good. But we tend to think of uh, certain aspects just because this is how I've always been, or this is what I've always been raised in, or this has always been my environment. And so because of that, then we might have the tendency to justify some things that are really not justifiable. I think that when it comes to the nature of the Christian life, one of the biggest challenges is that we really don't devote ourselves to the pursuit of godliness. It's a matter of convenience. It's a matter of um, priority, maybe. It's a matter of just not really putting the effort into it and hoping, kind of half-hearted effort and hoping that it all comes together but to really take that kind of a stand and to really be different. I'm not sure that many of us are really willing to go to that point. And we can say a lot of things, and the reality is that we may sound very good in our speech, but where's our heart? And I think this is the question that we need to evaluate. So in Proverbs 2, he begins with this quest for wisdom. And in doing so, what he's going to illustrate for us is that this quest necessitates that I have a proper evaluation and engage in intentional effort. So, what do I mean by this proper evaluation? Okay, well, I am never going to pursue something that I don't value. There are certain aspects of things that honestly I really could care less about, and I'm not going to pursue those things. I have no desire to pursue them. It's just not something that has any interest to me whatsoever. Now there are other things that do have a much greater interest, and some things have a great interest, and just simply is not the time to be able to do those things. Other things tend to maybe crowd some of those things out. But until I desire godliness and until I desire this knowledge, or this wisdom, I am not going to discipline myself to its pursuit. I would also say that we have to engage in intentional effort. What do I mean by that? Well, it's not going to come accidentally. We talked a little bit about this on Wednesday night. I can't just fall asleep one night and wake up godly the next morning. I've got to engage in work, effort, and all of these things to live this kind of a life. Okay, now I want you to see how both of those principles, my evaluation and my intentional engagement, how both of those principles are going to be established for us here in this text. He says in verse 1, "My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee." The nature of receiving something naturally is going to suggest that we take it, but we also are going to comply with it. It's not just accepting it. It means I'm going to accept it and I'm going to live by its standards. hide my commandments with thee doesn't mean that I'm playing hide and seek, but it does mean that I'm treasuring them. The picture would be that of taking something and keeping it really close to myself. Okay, so there you have both the effort and the evaluation right here illustrated just in verse 1. The effort is going to be that I'm going to take these things in and I'm going to live according to the standards that are taught. The value is seen in the fact that I'm going to take it and I'm going to hide it close to my heart. It's something I'm going to treasure. It's something that I'm going to keep. So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom. Again, you're going to see both of these elements. The inclining your ear, the bending down that ear. Maybe someone is hard of hearing and you might see them cup their ear with their hand and turn just a little bit more. Okay, that's the picture. Only I'm going to be doing this towards wisdom. I'm going to be applying my heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, I'm not going to cry after something that I have no desire to obtain. And liftest up thy voice for understanding. All of these terms are speaking of engaging in this kind of effort, this quest, this pursuit of wisdom. And it's nothing that is half-hearted. It is something that involves my entire person. This is who I am, and this is what I am to be governed by. If thou seekest her as silver, so there's the proper evaluation, and searches for her as for hid treasures. If someone were to tell you that they've got a large sum of money that is located somewhere in your house, number one, you'd probably think you're in the wrong house. But number two, you would gain quite a desire to look for it. The house might get cleaner than it's ever been before. You're going to search for that. Why? Because you're going to value it. We do not, as a whole, value the things of God the way that we ought to value them. And we live in a culture that, a church culture that honestly drives me nuts. If the demands of trying to keep up with the infamous Joneses, only we have to do this with church now. And we got to have all the activities and all this and that and all the fun and the kids have to have this. And I'm not saying those things don't have value, but I am going to say those things can take an improper place. And those things can become the entire pursuit. That's not what we're to be doing. If thou seekest her as silver, searchest for hid treasures. So if you do all of these things mentioned in verse 4, or verses 1 through 4, I should say, then at that point in time, after you have done these things, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God, which incidentally, according to chapter 1, is the beginning of wisdom. So in other words, for me to find these things, I've got to engage in an intentional effort that reflects a proper evaluation. And until I value the things of God greater than the things I want to do, I'm probably not going to pursue them. Until I develop a passion for this book and for its teachings, I'm not going to live by it. And in reality, by not living by it, I'm going to be demonstrating that I really do not have the proper fear of God that I should have. And quite the challenge for us. So let's take a good look at where our priorities are, take a good look at where our passions are, and let's see if maybe we need to adjust those things. Maybe we need to be more intentional about the things of God and our pursuit of them. Well, I appreciate you being on here today. Hope this is a help to you as always. And Lord willing, I'll be able to see you back here on the Moment of Truth on Tuesday. Hope to see you on Sunday, though. Looking forward to a good day on Sunday, and we'll begin a new series Sunday night. And looking like First Peter is going to be where we're heading. And so I've been torn between that and another one. I might still change my mind, but I don't think so. We'll see how it all plays out. But at least that's been the preparation to this point. So thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And Lord willing, I'll see you back here either Sunday or Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Take care.